Hello and welcome to Footy Corner TV. I'm Sparks. I'm on my lonesome, so it'll be quite a short stream anyway. We just got some thoughts to get across, obviously from Man United game, from the upcoming PSV game, and from various other places. So yeah, it's if you're new here, please make sure you're hitting the like and the subscribe. Any comments in the chat, I'll try to get to them and answer as many questions as I possibly can, and yeah, take it from there really. But yeah, straight into it really with the Man United game. The lineup was the lineup. We got there was nothing really to be surprised about. Everything kind of, yeah, it is what it is. We've got a couple of injuries, but the injuries hit harder because we don't have any relative substitutions for them. So, at the end of the day, that's what it is, and that's where the squad we've been left with. So, yeah, we all knew it was light. We all knew that any one injury would hit harder purely because the board didn't get any substitutions, any transfers in January, basically. So, yeah, they just weren't serious, were they, in January or even in the summer, really. But there we go. We get into the Man United game, and yeah, we dominated all possession first half. We literally had no cutting edge. We had nothing going between the lines, really. Nobody breaking down. We got what we expected, a Man United low block, and fair play to them. So there's no complaints as far as Man United are concerned. That is where the team is, and he's right to play like that. He's going to do what he can do to get points, and that's exactly what he did. So yeah, no complaints from that point of view. The free kick was avoidable, and I mean avoidable from an Arsenal point of view, because the kick out from Calafiori and Trossard really could have it could have been more focal and, I don't know, a bit less slapdash than it was. And yeah, when you bring somebody down like that, you're going to get a free kick. There's all that talk on Sky about it being 11.2 yards. Who really cares? It's set where it is, and unless they do comparisons like that on every single free kick from now on, then it's not really going to be a reference point for anything anyway. So it's kind of a case in point of well, that one was 11.2 yards, but how do you know that another 20% of them weren't on that same kind of vein? So at the end of the day, like I said, he is what he is. There's nothing you can really do about it. No real cutting edge, as I said. I thought Rice had a really good game. He did a couple of last-ditch saving tackles. Saliba did one as well. So keeping up the defensive kind of strength, as it were. But yeah, I don't think it really offered that much. And well, that's saying that in the second half, Rice made some incredible saves, and the incredible double save that he made. I don't even know how he got up to that, and I'm sure people will basically say, "Oh well, that's his job, that's what he should be doing." But still, to me, he's gone to his right and he's basically sprung up. I don't see Ramsdale stopping that second stop at all. Though I did see another one with Areola, but that was a really good stop to prevent an own goal the other day as well. So that was decent from him as well. So to be fair, there's not a lot you can do about that. But yeah, I still think we've got no cutting edge. We kind of play through the channels. There's no real runs. We don't cut teams open as such. We play through the lines, and it's all like methodical. It's all built up, and there doesn't really seem to be that much cutting edge to it. So you know, it is it's yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, really. But I go by, we should have gone more in the transfer window. We should have brought in at least two forward players. And people are saying, "Oh, you've only got two players out," but when you've got such a small squad, the- well, we had four players out anyway. But that's a line I've seen thrown around a lot. Then the single injury, it just makes more of a difference. So yeah, we didn't get the quality, and you know, kind of is where it is. But it's a job for the board in the summer, and yeah, we'll move on to Andrea Berta in a bit. But yeah, it's obviously not going to be an easy job, but obviously we can attract some better prospects from that. PSV game, basically tomorrow night. We obviously won 7-1 in the away leg at the Philips Stadion. So you know, we got the job done there. I mean, it's going to take a miracle for them to come back from that. So and yeah, I can basically see that we're through that. For they're really not going to win by 6 goals. So I would have hoped anyway. And if we do, then you know, there's not much hope from that. Certainly from a defensive point of view, when we're supposedly had one of the best, most solid defenses in the league. So yeah, it's a case of we can rotate players. So that basically, I've got obviously Trossard's going to get some game time. Why I would put on instead of Timber, because Timber needs a break. Kivior I'd put in for Saliba. I think Gabriel will still play. We're going to have Tierney potentially at left back. This is kind of my opinion. It's not, I've got any kind of knowledge of this, but this is what I'd go for. Jorginho I'd have in the number 6 to basically give Partey a rest. And I put MLS in midfield. I'd literally play him in there and give Rice a rest as well, to be honest. Martinelli's just back from injury, so I expect him to be on the left side where he should be, and it's either Trossard or Marino up top. But I still think Trossard will do the striker role, and maybe maybe Marino comes on later, or maybe he saves him. I don't know exactly, but yeah, we're short of options on that front as well. There's a chance that Oyedeji gets another call up, but I don't think he'll do that. Arteta doesn't really do that much. So yeah, it's just going to be a case of doing what we do, really. Yeah, as I say, we're just going to fly through these points anyway, because it's yeah, it's just me on my own. So yeah, we're just going to get something, basically up here. I just wanted to address really the season ticket prices that the club have decided in their wisdom to increase, and yeah, I'm not altogether too happy about that as a season ticket holder myself. But even if I wasn't a season ticket holder, I wouldn't be altogether happy about it anyway. I think the club have done nothing to kind of warrant putting those prices up. I think it's just kind of been, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of been obviously forced on people, but it's like you didn't earn it. You're basically just going with inflation just because it's there, and it's a bit of a joke if you ask me. It's really it's really a point that that could be be solved and frozen at least for a year until we've got a decent transfer window in the bag. We've got some decent stars coming, and I guess they don't want to lose the money for the transfer window. But you know, again, for me, I think it's a bit off for me, to be honest. So basically, upper tier season tickets are going up on average, I believe, by 3%, and lower tier will be going up by 5%. Obviously, I don't know if you have season tickets yourself, you'll be able to work it out from there. But I think the average was like 3.7%. So yeah, that's kind of the basic increase. They've also done another season ticket where you can choose to have the 23 games for the Champions League, or you can have the 19 games. Now they do come with slight caveats. So the 23 one, I believe you have to be in attendance, so your seat has to be utilised for 20 games. So whether it's a case of using it yourself or ticket exchanging it or giving it your mate, then it doesn't matter as long as somebody's using it. So that's fine. There's a big caveat with the 19 game one. You basically got to be in attendance for 17 games. That's for a start off. So you can only miss 2 games. But the thing is that if you want to be in the cup scheme, or you want the Champions League games, the qualification games, provided we qualify, obviously, you have to join the silver ballot. So you don't automatically get them. So I guess that's you can't just because you want to save a bit of money, you can't go for the 19 game one. You kind of automatically have to go for the 23 game one. So it's yeah, bit of a muchness on that, but yeah, I think it's a bit of a cheek really from the board to do that, and they say that obviously there's going to be more access to tickets, obviously, because the season ticket holders that are basically going for the 19 game one can't easily access the Champions League games. So basically there's a restriction on that. So yeah, it comes with ups and downs and caveats and whatnot. So they've still got you. You know, if you want to go to the Champions League games, then you're just going to have to get the 23 game ticket anyway. If you're not really bothered about it, then obviously you can go do the 19 games and take it from there. Don't really know how it's going to work with the away tickets on the Champions League games. I guess it'd just be exactly the same. So it's not really a major drama. But yeah, for my take on that is it's just yeah, taking the mick a little bit. But there we go. Other news that has kind of come out this week is the appointment of Andrea Berta is kind of imminent, but not confirmed. So we'll have to wait and see with that. Obviously, we still keep seeing that Zubimendi might go here, he might go there, but I still think that's done and dusted. Though I don't know if Berta now wants that or what. I mean, obviously, you know, things could change with the new director in, but I'm not entirely sure how that affects anything, whether that affects anything at all. We were kind of the opinion that it was kind of all done and dusted. Whether that's still the case, whether it's going to kind of double back and they're going to pivot to somebody else, is kind of the biggest problem, really. So biggest kind of question that needs answering, really. So we'll have to see on that score. But all in all, I think Berta coming in is a very positive move for the club. I think it shows a bit of seriousness rather than it's a mate of Arteta. It's somebody that's already in the club. It's somebody that's kind of, you know, rubbing shoulders with the board, as it were. It's somebody completely independent coming in, and I think it actually shows a bit of seriousness for a change, and some kind of independence from a club, so that it's not like all on the board or all on Arteta, and all the decisions are with those two kind of bodies. I think it's kind of, taking it out of their hands a little bit. So we'll have to wait and see to see actually if that actually progresses. But at the end of the day, I think that's a positive move. It takes a little bit of power away from Arteta, or does it? That's the thing. It's whether he's going to be allowed to do what he's doing and kind of get on with things and progress and do the best that he thinks the club needs, without interference from the board and with support of the board, and equally with Arteta. But I think this is actually sets up so if Arteta does leave at any point, I think it just shows a bit of seriousness and a bit of independence from Arteta on that score. I'm not advocating for Arteta to be sacked. I don't think that's a sensible thing to do. Certainly, right now, I think that the board need to kind of get their serious heads on, and kind of back the team. I know that there are people saying that that's Arteta shouldn't get any more money. I don't back that idea. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me. If you bring in a director of football who is responsible for the transfers, as Edu was responsible for the transfers, then restricting money from the current manager, it's restricting funds from the team. It's not about the manager. You're basically putting a director of football in place to isolate that point anyway. So I just don't understand you basically saying that the manager shouldn't get any money. It's like the manager basically decides everything all the time anyway, and it's just not true. So I get a lot of people are upset with the manager, but it's when people go, oh, well, they haven't signed this guy, and they haven't signed this guy, and they haven't signed this guy. Well, that's not on the manager. So at the end of the day, it's got to be allocated to the right people. So if you're basically going, well, I want the manager out because they didn't sign this player, I don't really understand that. If you're saying you want the manager out because you don't like his tactics, you don't like the way he's playing, you don't like his team selection, I completely understand that altogether, like, yeah, every day of the week. Myself, I've kind of questioned certain things, and yeah, he is very stubborn and very strict with what he does. But I think sometimes he could literally just take the handbrake off, and literally how we did against PSV last week. Albeit PSV were awful. I don't think anybody will disagree with me there. But at the end of the day, you can only play what's in front of you, and I think everybody on that team, I think they just played football. They just kind of just enjoyed themselves. And at the end of the day, I'd like to see it a bit more in the Premier League. It's just a case of just let the handbrake off and actually play football. So yeah, but yeah, it's difficult. At the end of the day, you've got all these people that are basically going, oh yeah, Arsenal bottlers off this, Arsenal that, Arsenal this, and I don't really understand the Liverpool fans, to be honest, that are just talking about Arsenal all the time. If my team are going on to win a title, I'm talking about my team, because that's what's happening. And that's it really. So yeah, I struggle with the whole all the criticism, especially of the fans. So the criticism of the fans is like the fans don't have standards because they didn't force a signing of an £80 million player or whoever. You're like, well, it doesn't really make sense to me, but there you go. Look, I mean, as I said, it was only going to be a quick one anyway, just to kind of put these points kind of across. Um, we're watching I've got the live score on for the Barcelona Benfica game. Um, Benfica couldn't get the job done when Barcelona had 10 men. So yeah, they've got 11 now, and yeah, they're 3-1 up. So Otamendi equalised for them, but yeah, Yamal and Rafinha have gone and scored another 2 goals. So that's kind of sorted. Another big game tonight. Obviously, the PSG and the Liverpool PSG game is tonight. Obviously, Liverpool take a 1-goal lead into that. I really expect them to get the job done. There's a lot of talk saying how PSG are a lot better team than when Arsenal played them specifically, and I kind of agree with that to a point. And that's kind of down to one player really. That got Kvaratskhelia, which I wouldn't have minded at all if they wanted to bring him into my club in the January transfer window, but obviously that wasn't to be either. But I think they are a better team, but I think Liverpool at home, Anfield, European night, I just don't see. I don't see PSG winning. They might draw the game, but obviously a draw's not enough. So I think that's just going to be the way it is. Liverpool will go through. Villa are comfortably through, I think, because they were 3-1 up against Bruges in their first leg, so I think they'll go through as well. In terms of the Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, I think that's still in the balance. Because they've got to go to I can't remember the name of the Atletico Madrid stadium, but they've got to go to their home. Madrid won it 2-1, but I wouldn't actually put it past Atletico to win 2-1, maybe to go extra time, but then I expect Real Madrid to do kind of to go on and win that, to be fair. And yeah, Arsenal coming across Real Madrid. I mean, I won't give us no chance at all, but you know, obviously unless we get players back, and again, I think we kind of got left high and dry with the transfer window. So it's a cup competition. Anybody can win it. I'm not going to kind of say we can't win it, but I'd kind of say it's like a 20% chance of winning that, really. So yeah, we'll just have to see what happens and kind of take it from there. So yeah. Guys, if you are watching the video, please make sure you're liking and subscribing to the channel. Any comments you want to put in the chat, in the comments below on the video, please make sure you do that. I'll try to answer any questions that you're going to put out there. And yeah, I think we're going to call it there. As I said, there's only myself on there, and I've kind of done what I needed to do. If you're going to go through other things, then I can go through them on Thursday. So yeah, I'm going to start doing more reaction videos as well. So yeah, you're going to see more of me, unfortunately. So yeah, we're going to do more and more, kind of try and do stuff daily. What even if it's just kind of a an interlude, as it were. But yeah, if you are watching, please make sure you're liking, subscribing, and I've been Sparks. This is Footy Corner, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Good night.